Sandeep.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent.
Okay, so we're here at Future Hospitality Summit. It is day one. It is not too busy, but it's going to be in a few hours' time.
Absolutely.
How does it feel to be here?
Excellent. I think the optimism in the industry, if I could use the word post-COVID, is really been positive. We are seeing that in our numbers. We are seeing it in guest travel. We're looking at the number of hotels we are signing and opening. And I feel that enthusiasm and buzz right here this morning as well.
I want to talk a little bit about that optimism that you mentioned.
Sure.
It kind of feels like in this region specifically, hospitality is not slowing down. How are you
Absolutely.
finding the buzz in the air?
You know, it's been an amazing journey. I think COVID somewhere accelerated a lot of the trends we'd already started seeing. So, for example, we started to see a lot of people going for experiences versus product. It got speeded up. People have started to go to more luxury resorts, take more time off with their loved ones, and that really falls in exactly the lap we are in terms of our hotel and resort business, especially with our luxury portfolio of hotels, be it St. Regis or Ritz-Carlton or Luxury Collection. So I think that's been there as well. The second thing has also been residential. We saw a lot of people move to residences, whether they are branded residences to buy and live in, so they can have a similar lifestyle of theirs while they travel, but also be at home, or just be branded residences which are monthly rentals. You know, they want to get away from living in apartment buildings and looking after all the things better and leave everything to the operator to take care of. So we've seen a lot of growth in that space, especially with our collection brands or with the St. Regis and Ritz-Carlton residences. And even in the mid-scale or the select space, for example, we opened Element in Dubai, and it's been doing very well from day one. So a lot of things got speeded up during COVID times, which kind of is looking at how the growth has been now. If you had to ask me this question, let's say 2 years back, I would say great optimism on UAE, so many hotels opening. We were opening our 50th hotel in Dubai itself. And that optimism continues. We have about 18 projects now that we have 76 open, but 18 projects. But fast forward, if you ask me that question last year, I would be talking about Qatar with the World Cup. We doubled our portfolio. We now have over 20 hotels in Qatar. But now that you're asking me the question now, a lot of growth in Saudi Arabia. We have 36 open hotels. We have a similar or rather more than that in terms of projects. And you know what excites me is the fact that last few years we have done announcements and signings, and this is the year when it all starts translating into openings. We are opening the St. Regis Riyadh in a few weeks. We opened the St. Regis on the Red Sea later this year. So a lot of these projects which were announced are now becoming reality. So we're seeing a lot of growth in this market for sure.
Very exciting times indeed.
Absolutely.
And I think we're definitely feeling that speed that you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
When it comes to industry events, Future Hospitality Summit is just really known for its quality. And I mean, the fact that we're standing here with you,
Yes.
it means that they're always able to pull in, you know, the highest of quality in terms of people into certain hotel groups. What is it that brings you here to Future Hospitality Summit?
I think it's two. One is the fact that you're able to, it's great to have a balance between strategy and hands-on, like we say. Similarly, it's great to have this whole balance between one, networking with people, and you mentioned quality of people coming in from different companies, brands, operators, owners. So connecting with them is great, but also the balance to kind of listen in what's happening in the industry. So we know what's happening from our lens, but it's good to keep an eyes open on what others are doing and what the industry is doing as a whole. And this conference really brings that very well together, the balance. So I truly love being here for the FHS, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, we love seeing you here.
Thank you so much.
What are your expectations for the next 3 days?
Similar to what I said, one is to listen in and zoom into what people are talking about. A lot on the F&B space, a lot of on residential, a lot of trends on the conversion of different projects. Everybody's getting into different conversion or collection brands. So what, which operator is doing what are the trends like in the industry, which do tend to kind of a lot reflect on what you've been thinking, but it also solidifies what is happening in the industry. And the second is, of course, I look forward to networking with a lot of colleagues and people like you.
Sounds amazing. My final question for
Sure.
you. You mentioned all of these very exciting hotel openings that you're having right now in Saudi Arabia and some also here in the UAE.
Yes.
What are you most excited about? Is there anything really special coming up or that's just launched that you want to mention?
That's a difficult question. I didn't know you were going to keep the most difficult for the end, but I would say there are a lot of excitements in Middle East, be it in UAE openings. We are also going to introduce a St. Regis brand in Oman. And I just mentioned to you, we're getting into with the St. Regis brand in Saudi Arabia, which is going to be an exciting as well. So a lot of the first time for different brands, like in the last few months, we opened a loft in Oman for the first time. But different brands getting into different markets is exciting. And also another proof of the pudding of growth in people traveling is our loyalty program. When we look at Marriott Bonvoy today, we had 186 million members. In the last few months, we've been signing 1 million members a month. And then to have more options for them. And equally important, and if not more, is options for our own people. The growth that this gives. And also excited about, for example, when we talk about Saudi Arabia, we talk about the growth. We talk about the fact that this year is truly the changing year when hotels are starting to open. We've been also focusing a lot on localization in Saudi. And today, if you ask me, what does the number look like? We're about a bit more over than 45% of the hotel team being from Saudi itself. And we started this program called Tehseen, which is a partnership between Marriott and Cornell. To see that grow, to see people take on that senior positions is exciting as well and very fulfilling.